unbelievable. What the f was that?
Oh my god, I have self-res.
Yeah. Jesus.
I'm under fire!
Oh my god. Hey, what's up and welcome everyone, Isaac here, and welcome to the first video of a new series called Warzone Academy. In this series, we will be breaking down advanced gameplay techniques to help you outplay your Warzone opponents. In future videos, we'll be pulling out the drawing board to talk rotations, positioning, lines of sight, squad tactics, solo tactics, and everything else you and your teammates will need to achieve victory. If you're looking forward to those types of tactical guides, make sure to subscribe. But first, today's video is going to be kind of a baseline. We're going to talk about some advanced tips that are going to be used throughout the rest of our Warzone Academy videos. The game has been out for over a week now, so I'm not going to bore you with information you likely already know. Rather, I'll provide you with advanced techniques I've used to rack up double-digit wins and then 20+ kill games. Now, the gameplay you're seeing here is actually collected live from my Twitch channel. This is my first ever round going at solos, and it went pretty dang well. Now, I'm really intentional about when I'm streaming to be letting you all know what I have going on. Rather than being silent in really intense moments, I'm letting you all know why I'm making certain decisions, where my rotations are, why I'm hitting certain flanks, covering certain lines of sight. If this is something you would find value in and you want to learn live, see some live commentary, maybe ask me questions why I'm doing certain things, make sure to follow the link in the description. But without further ado, let's get started. So the first 4 tips are going to have to do with Minimap gameplay. Now, this is so incredibly important, and I don't see enough people focusing on it. And you might think you have it down already, but if you're not using the minimap to its full extent, you're missing out on so many opportunities for high kill games or just overall situational awareness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 4 little tips in regards to the minimap, and then I'm going to talk about how I use all of these for a 200 IQ strat that just allows me to absolutely hunt down lobbies. So first and foremost, look up in the top left-hand corner, you'll see I have the square minimap enabled. From the options, you have the ability to change your minimap coverage from a circle, which is default, to a square. Now, if you actually do the math on it, you have over a 20% increase of overall radar coverage by switching to that square, and it doesn't really take away too much valuable information from your screen. It's not covering up where you're aiming, so I can't really foresee any reason why you would have the circle over the square. Now, the second thing that surprisingly a lot of people are missing, for COD veterans, it's very familiar, but if you're new to COD, when you look on your minimap, it is blatantly obvious to see where an enemy is based off the giant red dot on the radar. This radar dot appears whenever an enemy is shooting an unsuppressed weapon or when they are pinged by your UAV. However, one thing many players haven't noticed yet is there will be an arrow above or below an enemy player's red dot showing whether they are above or below your current elevation. You can use this when approaching a fight to better understand where an enemy may be attacking from. So for example, if you're sitting up on a building rooftop and you see a red dot appear right behind you, you shouldn't instantly panic. You should first check to see whether or not there is an arrow on it. If there's a red dot right next to you, but an arrow is below it, that means the enemy's in your building, but he's well below you. The third tip going on in this minimap discussion is talking about gunshots. So we can hear gunshots from an incredible range in this game, from so far away. But oftentimes, if we don't hear the unsuppressed gunshot and we don't immediately see it on our radar on the top left, we just start to assume that they're all the way across the map. That's not necessarily the case. So gunshots will still appear red, even if they're not appearing on your minimap. So if you hear gunshots that sound like they're close and they're not appearing on your minimap, you can pull up your full map and you can still have those red dots appear. Now, if you pull it up on your minimap and then on your full map and you don't see a red dot, that means they're quite a distance away. Now, the fourth and final tip before I get onto the overall master plan of the minimap is you can actually double right click and it'll recenter your cursor to center on your character. Now, a really annoying part of navigating the map interface is constantly zooming in, zooming out to get detail, or scrolling back and forth to scan for enemies or new rotations. You can actually save yourself a bunch of time by double clicking the right mouse button to recenter the map on your location. I've yet to see anyone talk about this, but it's a great quality of life addition. For console players, just double click whatever button allows you to pull up the cursor on your minimap to where you can start scrolling around. Now, the way I combine all of these into an absolute master plan of minimap aggression is I'll either pop a UAV or I'll listen for gunshots, right? I'm looking for that red dot on my map. And then I'll pull up my main map, especially if I have a UAV, and then I'll mark 2 locations. The first location is going to be the first target that I'm hunting. So whoever is closest to me, or whoever would be the easiest to take out based off of their, location, let's say they're crossing an open field, I'm going to mark that person. As soon as I mark that person, I'm going to turn in their direction, and then I'm going to see the heading that I have to take, whether it's southwest, northwest, or a specific number, 285 in a distance. I'm going to know the direction that they're heading and the heading that I have to take in order to get to them.
One rotating in over here.
Immediately after that, as soon as I point my direction towards that marker and start heading that way, while I still have that UAV active, I want to take advantage of it. I'm then going to mark a second spot on my map. I'm going to pull up the map again and then look for the second opponent that I'm going to push. Hopefully this is someone stationary. Let's say it's someone that I see is, it's a red dot on a building and it has an arrow above it. So I know I've got someone camping a rooftop. So I'll mark that, I'll keep that in my mind, I'll push the person out in the open closest to me, keep heading in that direction, kill that person, and then snap back over to that other location. Basically, I can use the UAV for 2 gunfights rather than 1. Oftentimes, what players are doing is they're marking a single individual, hunting down that, and then by the time they finish their fight, the UAV is gone. And so what I'm doing is I'm marking 2 individuals, taking out 1, and then immediately pushing towards a known location and a known elevation so I can approach that second fight with more information. Now, once again, this video is kind of a baseline for all of my tactics and techniques. Moving forward with Warzone Academy, I have 2 different types of videos I'm going to put out. The first will be what we're seeing on screen. It'll actually be me talking with chat or talking with you all through YouTube, the decisions I'm making, why I'm making certain rotations, and talking about things live. I'm not just going to give you the gameplay, but I'll be coaching myself through it the entire time. The second type of video will actually be me pausing in certain situations, and we can even do community submitted. You know, let's say someone sends in a video and says, how could I have approached this differently? We can pause the videos, we can pull up the mini-map, we can pull up the angles, and we can pull out the, the markers like a coaching video and actually go through how we could make these plays differently. If that's something you all would be interested in, make sure to let me know down in the comments. Now, getting back to the main video, the other thing that I want to talk about is movement techniques. Now, first and foremost, don't stand still. You guys have already seen a couple of clips already this game, but I don't have to provide a compilation of people getting decked or one-shot from across the map just because they're standing still. This isn't Apex or Blackout where you can survive a sniper headshot if you have a full health and the best armor. A sniper headshot from an HDR or an AX50 will kill you from any range across the map. The devs have adjusted the headshot multiplier to guarantee this. And with custom loadouts only costing $6,000, nearly everyone will be carrying around a sniper of some sort. Now, if you're trying to hold an angle or even camp a hallway, don't stop moving. Even just a little, AD or, left, right, just kind of bobbing back and forth. That little side jiggle and then the occasional quick 360 to scan your surroundings could potentially save your life. Even that little 360 can just get that lens glare coming from across the map that'll let you know you're being aimed at. Now, this goes without saying, do not hard scope. The irony of this is painful. Most of you are spending your time standing still sniping, waiting for your opponent to stand still so you can snipe them. Completely oblivious to the fact that there's 149 other people on the map who are waiting for you to do the exact same thing. Never stand still while sniping. Always be jiggling back and forth. Don't hard scope because that lens glint can be seen from anywhere across the map. If you see someone that you want to shoot, be toggling back and forth. Or if you really want to be a solid player, be jumping back and forth and occasionally, only zooming in for a fraction of a second at a time to see if that moment has arisen. And this will even make you becoming a better player or better aiming because it'll kind of practice you, not necessarily for the cheap, corny, trick shotting, quick scoping, but the fact that you're jumping back and forth, kind of toggling, crouching up and down, doing little side strafes. All of that will practice your ability to aim onto a target quicker, which will help in instances where they're actually shooting back at you. Now, even if you're not sniping, you always need to be jumping or sliding or doing something as you're moving across the map to change your elevation. I don't need to draw a diagram to prove to you that running in a straight line makes it easier for an enemy to shoot you. You need to change the level of your head, or really your body as a whole, on both the X and the Y axis. Now, I know most of you people in school are pissed off that I'm mentioning the X and Y axis because you're not at school, #COVID, but you need to vary the X axis by swerving randomly from left to right. And don't do it super predictably, but throw in the occasional, 360 to both scan your environment, but also avoid shots. This is more prevalent if you're crossing an open road, right? If you're running through the woods, you can get away with a straight line. But if you're crossing through an open field, be moving all over the place. And then you can vary the Y-axis by jumping and sliding at random times. This will not slow you down significantly. In fact, sliding, there's an animation cancel for it that allows you to increase your sprint speed. So if you're interested in that, make sure to let me know. I can show you that slide cancel animation in a future video. Now, doing this constant movement is pretty easy to pull off on PC. Keyboard and mouse, this is pretty easy. If you're having a tough time with all those additional inputs on controller, I have multiple reviews on my channel of SCUF controllers that have the paddles on the back, and it has completely changed the caliber and comfort at which I game at. If you're interested in those, hit me up on Twitter, check out my YouTube videos. SCUF controllers have absolutely changed my life when it comes to high mobility and high caliber gameplay. Now, one thing that I had noticed a lot of people haven't figured out is each gun has a separate weight in Warzone, and the weight directly impacts your movement speed. Running around with a pistol or a knife is significantly faster than running around with an SMG, which is faster than an assault rifle, which is faster than snipers, and faster than LMGs, which is faster than riot shields, and faster than rocket launchers. Like, it all stacks up together. It's important to know that your movement speed is affected by the gun you currently have equipped. You could have the Joker, which is the old school javelin rocket launcher, the heaviest thing in the game, but if you have a pistol in your hand, you will move at the same speed as someone else with a pistol. It's all about the primary gun that you have attached. Use this knowledge to help escape the zone if it's approaching your back, or just to outrun enemy gunfire. Now, as this video is coming to a close, I really just want to do some rapid fire tips that I have without going into too much detail. We can focus on these more in future videos, but here's some things you need to know. In solos especially, I never clear out a building without expecting a camper. So when I'm playing squads and I assume that someone's near me, or I especially get something on my heartbeat sensor, solo, I jiggle peek each door. I peek in one side and just kind of check to see if the left corner is clear, and then I will full send on that right corner expecting someone to be in that room. In squads, if I'm expecting someone to be in there, we full send, we time it, we do a countdown or something, we go in together. Everyone is super thirst happy in this game, so you have to expect that if you lose that gunfight, you are dead. The second thing, the two loudest things in the game, besides vehicles and shooting, is breaking glass and breaching doors. So you want to make sure if you're trying to sneak around, if you think someone's kind of near you, don't be vaulting through glass doors or glass windows. Don't be busting through doors full sprint. Play a little bit more tactical. It'll take you maybe a second more just to stop your sprint, open the door, but it is so incredibly loud you can hear that from so far away, literally buildings away if someone breaks glass or breaches the door. A couple other little things. If you want to pop in multiple armors at once, people still don't know this yet, press your heal button and then start mashing your heal button after that. So on PC, I tap 4, and then I start to tap 4 until all of my armor plates are in. On console, it would just be pressing Y or triangle multiple times. Another key thing, certain items are auto pickup, like all of your ammo. Let's say if you're holding a frag and you walk over another frag, it'll automatically put that second one in there. But there are certain things in the game that are not automatic pickups. Any kill streaks are not automatic. Any gas masks are not automatic. If you do not have a frag or a heartbeat sensor or a tactical grenade equipped, you have to manually pick those up even if you don't already have one equipped. So it's just something to be aware of. It might take you a little bit more time to loot, but there are a lot of times where I've seen people, I've been watching streams, and they'll walk over precision airstrike. You have to manually pick that stuff up. And then finally, there's a great video by Exclusive Ace. I'll put a little screenshot right here. If you want to learn how to drop faster, he has an incredible video on it. His general guidance is to either, if it's under 500 meters, or I think he said 600 meters, drop instantly. If it's at 600 meters and above, you kind of have to do this drop, cut. And then, of course, if it's super far across the map, you just have to pull your chute and go all the way. You can actually go the entire distance of the map if you pull your chute and start pressing W. But without me going into a lot more detail on those last ones, those are just some little sneak peeks into some things we may talk about further in the future. But between the movement guide and the minimap abuse that you can have, you can absolutely destroy some lobbies if you use those techniques. So make sure to try those out in future games. If you want to see some community guide coaching, make sure to let me know down in the comments. If you're interested in future Warzone Academy videos, let me know kind of what you would like to see, the certain things that you would like to see, whether it's like talking about final map rotations or how to get high kill games. Let me know specifically what you would like to see. But guys, I'm super excited. I love getting into the nitty-gritty details. I love getting tactical on stuff like this. So if you want to see more of this from the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. And of course, if you want to catch any of this gameplay live, I'll be streaming on Twitch as much as I possibly can. Videos come first, streams come second, and then sleep somewhere in there after that. But enough rambling. Appreciate you guys checking out this video. Really look forward to more Warzone Academy, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.